Hello, my friends, and welcome to Cathy Chat. Is it Christmas? What's going on? This is one of those things you instantly see Santa Claus on the screen and you're going, what month is this? Well, for me, after the opportunity to meet this incredible person every single day for me when I get to see him at networking events is Christmas. I'd like you to welcome Santa Papa John. OMG, my friend, how are you?
Ho, 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 ho. I am absolutely wonderful. And thank you very much for this opportunity to come and share my story about life and how it happened. But more importantly, I'm going to change your attitude on that statement that you just made a little bit. It's not Christmas every day. We are sharing Christmas spirit, or as my wife likes to say, Santa's cause. Not Santa Claus, but Santa's cause. Hope, healthy, happiness, positivity. That is Santa's cause. And we need more of that in this world.
I love that right off the bat, Santa's cause. And so I can see that as one of your hashtags, my friend. I absolutely love that. Your appearance gives you away, so to speak. And I am so excited. We got to meet several months ago at a networking event with a dynamic organization called Alignable. And the rest, as they say, is history. How did Santa Papa John come to be? Tell us a little bit. Share your story.
Share my story. Well, first of all, this is real. I mean, it's not one of those glue-ons. This is real. It's been there for over 14 years. And the seriousness of that is I can't disguise it. So I might as well utilize it.
I
So
love that. Yes,
how
not everyone can
Santa,
say that.
how Santa came about is everybody giggles. But I went through a nasty divorce, which life happens, and sometimes it's for the good and sometimes for the better. Well, I met my new wife, and she looked at me, Cathy, and she said, "You're Santa. I didn't meet John." I said, "You're crazy. I hate Christmas." She says, "Nobody hates Christmas." I says, "Well, in my past life, you can ask my children. I was Mr. Scrooge because there was a whole different part of the story that I won't get into. But the seriousness and the simpleness of it is I became Santa by a little story of my new wife, my lovely wife, who makes all these wonderful clothes for me and hates taking me into the fabric store because I'll go, "Hey, that'll make a new shirt, that'll make a new shirt, and that'll make a new shirt." So she's very talented and I love her dearly, but she makes all these shirts. So this is how I dress year around. So yes, I Santa's been around for 1753 years. And there are some serious bootstraps to step into. But Santa is also the number one promoted character in the world, if you did not know that.
I
But back
believe
to the
that.
story. She hands me a handful of candy cane and says, "Next time you're walking through a store and you hear some kids squawking, go talk to them." So I look at her, and typical male response is, "Hey, little girl, do you want some candy?" I said, "I'm going to go to freaking jail." And of course, we both laugh. She kicks me in the shin. She likes to do that and she giggles about it. And we giggle so much in our wonderful relationship. So, I'm walking through one of the big box stores and I've got a big black Carhartt winter coat on because this is after Christmas. I've got black pants on, black tennis shoes on. There is no red and white on me except this. So I give myself a, I hear some kids squawking in the aisle over, and I went, "OMG, here it is. If it's now or never." So, the old proverbial, let's give this a shot and see what happens. So I walked around the corner and there was three little kids in the cart and they're squawking off to mom. And I just looked at them. I stopped and I went, "Hey, are you supposed to be acting that way to mom?" And I stopped. The kids looked at me. They looked at mom. They looked at me. They looked at mom. Their eyes went about this big and they went, "Santa, what are you doing here?" And I said, "Well, I'm listening to you squawk off to mom when she's actually buying stuff for you guys." "We're sorry, we're sorry, we're sorry." I said, "No, don't say sorry to me. Say sorry to mom because mom is doing this for you." Okay, mom, we're sorry, we're sorry, we're sorry. I says, a couple minutes ago, I was thinking there was some kids going to be put on the naughty list. And of course, once again, their eyes went this big and, no, 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 Santa, we don't want to be put on the naughty list. And I says, well, I says, you never know when I'm going to be walking around the corner again. So you better behave and listen to mom and dad. Give mom, a big hug and tell her you love them, both of them, and be nice. Okay, we promise, we promise. And so I asked mom, you always got to ask mom if they can have a candy cane because you just don't
Yep.
want to
Important. Yep.
be jumping, crossing lines, with allergies or whatever nowadays. And so I asked mom and she said yes. And I said, okay, do you guys promise to be good for the rest of the afternoon? Yes, Santa, we will. So I handed them a candy cane and I said, bye, Merry Christmas. You guys be good. Love you. And I walked around the corner. Well, mom looked at me and ran around after me. I think you just made shopping enjoyable for the rest of the afternoon. Santa was born, and I have not looked back once. And ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor, it's my privilege. It's, as my wife says, God has spoken to me, and now I've got a new calling, and I am very blessed that I make people smile. And that's one of my wonderful trademark sayings that I love to tell everybody. In this goofy world that we live in, Cappy, there's a lot of people that are in ugly spaces and ugly places, and they don't have a reason to smile. Well, I can get out of a vehicle, walk around the corner, get into a meeting, and all of a sudden I make people smile because everybody loves Santa and they love the idea of Santa's cause, which we will say positivity, happiness, sharing, caring, and just sharing your happiness with some other people. Give them a reason to smile. And, that's where I say, see a senior citizen, maybe carry their bag out, help them open the door for them. And of course, we can't forget our veterans. We love our veterans. And without our veterans, there is none of this story. So thank a veteran next time you see them. Project Die Hard is just one of the major organizations out there that help our veterans. And I love supporting them, and they do a wonderful cause.
Absolutely true. And I love that story. And actually, you have mentioned Mrs. Claus several times. And I love the fact that even someone, Santa, also realizes that it takes a village, as they say, and it's the coolest thing ever to know that Mrs. Claus has such a huge part, not only of your origin, as far as you personally, Santa Papa John, but certainly your outfits and your dynamic clothes that you wear, even when it's not completely Christmas. So the Santa's cause is magnificent. And who doesn't need a little more positivity and a little more giggle? So I love that piece. How did you go from a big box store talking to little kids to your dynamic networking platform? How did that segue happen?
Well, it has transpired over going into 7 years now. And if we don't grow and we don't adapt to changing atmospheres and attitudes and things that go around us, we're going to go downhill really quick. So of
Yes.
course I started off with the traditional home visits and daycares and business relationships and building those up. And yes, I'm very busy in November and December, but last summer I said I want to start doing this full time. I want to do this year round. I'm a truck driver by trade. I've done 3 million miles in a big truck. That is around the equator 120 times for anybody that's counting. And yes, a truck driving, we all thank our truck drivers, and people thank me all the time. Without the truck drivers, the world doesn't turn. But the reality of it is, driving 4,000 miles a week in a truck can get boring. I mean, it's like any other job out there. There's days where things are going great, and as my wife says, we have this conversation because we all have to have a giggle and we all have to laugh. But ladies and gentlemen, there's days where things go perfect. Everything is cooperating. Everything is going smoothly. You love your job. Take that to any job situation. Everybody has the perfect days. They love being at work. And then flip the switch. There's days where we hate it and things aren't going great. And that can go for any job. So I started thinking, I love being Santa. I love making people smile. I have to step up, think outside the box, which is another one of my catchphrases. And we all know, Cathy, if your business doesn't think outside the box, you're not going to go very far. So Santa started thinking outside the box. Brand new computer. Oh, I got to tell you the story. Being the truck driver, I was only home for 36, 40 hours every week. So I'd come home and go, well, truck driving is one of those professions. The more you work, the more you make. So I had some tough times in my past life, and I said, I'm never doing that again. So I worked my buns off to get a lot of the things that I have now. So I come downstairs and said, all right, I'm going to set this up because I've got some great ideas. I'm going to do videos. Okay, let's set up the 10-year-old computer. Okay, it turns on, the monitors turn on, and we go, okay, I need a camera. Okay, so then you go to that online place and say, I need to order a camera. So you get the camera. So a week later, I come home, set a camera. Okay, now I need a background. Oh, okay. So a week later, it arrives in the mail, and I set up the background. Oh, now I need lights because I've got shadows. Ha! So I ordered lights. So a week later, the lights come up, show up. All right, I can do my first video. I'm so excited. And then my computer wanted to not cooperate. So, of course, now I ordered a computer. So, when you think of this story, this should have taken about 2 hours. Now it's taken like 7 weeks because I couldn't think enough to think far ahead to go, geez, I should order this, this, and this, and this, and this to make it a complete system. No, you got to walk the step to learn the results of the negativity. Yes. Don't like to use that one, but I use it on myself because I'm not a perfect person. I don't say I'm perfect. I don't think always the perfect answers to all the questions. So anyway, I started doing so. Then happy birthday videos. Well, everybody has birthdays year round, and those don't necessarily have to be for children. I sent one to an 80-year-old great grandmother here a couple months ago because the lady says, what do you get an 80-year-old great grandmother that has everything? A one of a kind happy birthday video. So then I do Santa check-in videos. Maybe the kids maybe are acting up and not quite listening to mom and dad as much as they should. But geez, if you got a video from Santa, maybe they would maybe perk their attitude up a little bit. So, I started doing that. And then I talked to this wonderful lady about 3 or 4 weeks ago that said, are you promoting these to seniors? One of those learning moments that we all have. And if you're in business for yourself, if you don't admit you made a boo-boo on your marketing, you're a beep, 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 beep. It's a part of business that if you don't accept some of your failures, you never will learn. So now I've changed my marketing material absolutely to promote to our seniors because, as the lady told me, her mother was housebound for 5 years, loved the idea of Christmas, loved the idea of Santa, and would have loved to have a cheer me up video from Santa. So now I market to seniors. And of course, that includes our veterans because we can't forget them too. So if you know someone that needs a pick me up, let me know. I'd be happy to make a video for them. So then I got laid off in my truck driving job. I know. How does a guy with my experience get laid off? Well, I turned around and looked at my wife and said, here is my golden ticket. Let's see how I can promote this, maybe take it up a couple steps, couple notches, and maybe make enough so I can make this a year round job. Because the simple fact, back to my original statement, We need more reasons to smile and be happy and cheerful and sharing and caring amongst our people, Santa's cause. So I started promoting and then I started getting on some network sites. Well, I'd never really done that before, but I'm a DJ for 40 years. So public speaking to me is pretty common. We all know public speaking is the number one fear in North America. If you didn't know that, it's not driving your bicycle into in front of a train or getting a car accident or falling off the stairs. It's public speaking. So I'm pretty common at pretty natural at public speaking, whether it be 50, 500, or 5,000 people. So I started my networking journey. And let me tell you, it has evolved in 6 or 7 months incredibly. And then through the power of networking, I belong to this one organization that we meet every Thursday morning, and what a fantastic bunch of people. They come, we were BSing after the actual meeting, like everybody does in a good networking session. They chat more because they want to talk things amongst themselves. And someone looked at me and said, Santa, we need to come up with an idea that you actually like us. Of course, we all laughed and giggled. Santa loves everybody. And someone said, Santa approved. And I went, bing. What if you were Santa? Are you Santa approved? So, as the story goes, as my favorite person on screen goes, one of her favorite saying goes, as the story goes, I ran upstairs and I said to my wife, what do you think of this saying? And she looked at me and again, her eyes went about this big and went, there it is, and says, this is something that he loves to do. Give him the opportunity to try something to make it work. So of course she had been praying to different people and to God, and of course, and we all got to pray every now and then and say thank you for our wonderful things that we get in this life. And if you don't, you're a fool. So anyway, phone the granddaughter, text granddaughter, SOS, grandpa needs help. She had just finished college, art major, started doing website designs. And I said, we have an idea. I have an idea. Here's a couple pictures. Here's some suggestions. You design something and let me know and show it. Whatever you got, I'm going to love. 4 days later, she come back with this one, and it is fantastic. It's simple. It's clean. But more importantly, it's Are You Santa approved? So then, okay, websites, landing pages, oh, am I going to charge for this thing? And I'm going, oh. And of course, the self doubt and the self pity and the internal brain farts are happening, going, well, this is a goofy idea. Nobody likes this idea, you know. So, you know, the self and explosion starts happening, going, well, I'll start with $10 and we'll see if anybody will pay $10 a month for this idea. So then again, network marketing is so powerful. And if you don't realize, you got to give to receive. And that is the key to network marketing, as you well know that, Cathy. So I talked to this one gentleman and he says, have you ever been to Starbucks? I says, nope. He says, do you know how much a coffee and a donut is? I says, no, never been there. And he says, $15. He says, are you worth more than 50? Are you worth more than a coffee and a donut? And I said, yes. So that's where I come up with my initial price now. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's a subscription service where Santa promotes your business. And as you can see, Cathy has a badge. So Cathy is in it's not just a community that's growing, it's a family of community, and there's so much thing that are exploding different ideas, and people like yourself, Cathy, I'm very blessed and honored to have met and love the relationship, because you have taught me so much about marketing and networking that I truly appreciate it, and the growth is starting to happen. So I've been compared to some big names that I won't name, but people are saying this has the potential to go big. So all I'm saying, people, is if you want on board, santapapajohn.com. I'd love to have a conversation on welcoming you to our family and how I can promote your business.
Wow and wow and wow, Santa Papa John. I appreciate that 1,000,000%. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you being on Cathy Chat live or certainly on the replay. The coolest part ever is all the networking I've been doing since 2008, full time, literally. I have gotten to meet spectacular people, some on a journey, some getting toward the end of their journey as far as ending their businesses, type of thing. The best news of all, it's very, very fun to be on this level with a brand new, bigger than this, bigger than that, bigger than something else that you can even imagine. And it's very fun to be on, shall we say, the middle ground level of Santa Papa John's success. Are you Santa approved? Do you know what Santa's cause is? And we definitely need more positivity, more giggles, and certainly more joy in the world. Santa Papa John, I am thrilled to have you on Cathy Chat today. Are there any final thoughts that you'd like to share with our friends before we say farewell?
Well, all I can say is people in your community, friends, acquaintances, whoever, we all know Cathy is a blessing to all of us that know her. She shares with her heart and gives more than she receives. And ladies and gentlemen, that's what I am learning to do. And that is the key word. This lady's taught me a lot, and I'm very proud to say that. And I tell that to a lot of different people. But don't estimate yourself short, and don't ever say you're not worth anything. I've seen some people lately go, yeah, I can't do that. I'm not worth this and I'm not worth that. The proverbial kick in the head is what you need, because everybody is worth something and everybody has a smile that may be hidden for some unknown reason. But when you talk to people like Miss Cathy and myself and other members of our family, we like to cheer people up, because we share and we care about who our friends and family are. And when people are down, we just need to reach out a hand. We need to say hello. We need to show people that there's an other side to the ugly world that we are in, that people still care. How's that?
Oh my gosh, Santa. Amazing, amazing, amazing. And we know the Santa's Cause topic. We know Christmas in July topic. We know November and December are big months for you. But the best news is, my friends, you can reach this dynamic Santa Papa John at santapapajohn.com. And if you are not Santa approved yet, I proudly have my badge all over Alignable and LinkedIn and certainly Facebook and now on YouTube as well. So please make sure that your business is Santa approved, because who wouldn't love that extra little hug, that little tug at your heart all year round? Santa Papa John, thank you again for being my guest today on Cathy Chat.
Thank you very much. And this has been fun.
Absolutely. Thank you again. Bye now.
Bye now.